Hey, it's Darren Rovell from the Action Network, and today we're talking about Beanie Babies. Why? Well, there's a couple documentaries out on the history of Beanie Babies and the craze that drove the world nuts in the late 90s. Now, it's a really interesting story, perhaps one of the most fascinating stories. Why did Beanie Babies become so popular? And why did they go for $20, $50, $100,000? Opposed to, just the normal toys that we've normally seen, some of the plush animals. They never took off like they did. Well, first of all, Ty Warner, who created the Beanie Baby, he did some things that egged on the market and made a market for these toys beyond just what children would play with. First of all, he had false scarcity by retiring some of the Beanie Babies early. And when the news came out that this Beanie Baby was going to be retired, or that it was retired and it was not available, then the price started skyrocketing. That was one. Two, unlike the Furby or other kind of limited toys that aren't really limited, these toys did not go in the major big box retailers, the Toys R Us's, the Walmarts of the world. He made sure to give them to the little toy stores, and so that made the chase kind of even better. And then regionally, there were different animals that went in different buckets so that you wouldn't be able to get it in one area and people would go around, and that increased the chase. So, as has been talked about in these documentaries, a bunch of women from suburban Chicago got in on it and then had price guides, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. One of the things that I'm really surprised about that's not talked about enough in this story of the Beanie Babies is the advent of two other things that made this really the first internet craze. Number one, you had America Online, which with the Beanie Babies hitting in 95, 96, getting to the height around 96, there's a reason for that. That's when America Online went to $19.95 a month for unlimited internet access. So that comes to the head at the same time. It's making the world so much smaller, and people can talk about it, trade it, buy it. And then number two, in September of 1995, eBay comes out. And that's the first time that you have collectibles being traded. It had gone from the only way to get it was in your local community, in your local card shop, in your local hotel when there was conventions going on, to now the world is opening up. Now, why did Beanie Babies fail in terms of the marketplace did not continue to sustain itself? And the reason for that is it's a typical bubble. And when people talk about bubbles, they talk about the Dutch tulips, where there were speculators in the 1600s who had never seen tulips, and it wasn't about the tulip anymore. It was only about the price. And that's what happened with Beanie Babies. I think the reason why it fell all the way through to the bottom was because ultimately enough people didn't like the Beanie Babies. They were just your standard plush toy with a poem on the tag. And so I think that's the key to a lot of bubbles in the market. Are NFTs a bubble? Well, do people really like the CryptoPunks? Do they really like them, or do they like the money associated with them? That's the one question I always ask when people say, is it a bubble? Do the majority of people in the market, are they there for the money, or are they there for the love? Do it with anything. Test it with anything. NFTs, modern basketball cards, whatever it may be. That being said, the Beanie Baby craze of the late 90s is a fascinating business lesson. I'm Darren Rovell from the Action Network. Hope you enjoy it.